So this is the 5th time I've covered Skeleton Ship here on my channel, and open and honestly, I'd probably be lying if I told you that this would be the last. But hey, what can I say? A good deck is never finished. Welcome back, folks, and welcome back to the channel. Thank you for dropping by and your ongoing support. My name is Patrick, host of the EDH Brutality YouTube page, in which we upload Magic the Gathering content and analysis every Sunday. Before we get right into today's video, a quick and special thanks to patrons like you for making videos like this possible. As always, timestamps were provided down in the description below within today's changelog, as well as links to previous iterations and changes of the deck. Now, for those new viewers watching, the premise of Skeleton Ship is untapped tribal. We are trying to combo out in as many ways as possible as building a Rube Goldberg machine. And although the goal of this video is no different, it mainly acts as a video changelog, noting upgrades and reasons behind them. So if you're already familiar with the deck, I hope you all enjoy, and if not, feel free to check out my previous videos or even the deck link below. So getting into our first cut of the day, we have Dismiss It a Dream, which was a great shotgun removal ability, given the amount of creatures we have that can untap target permanents. However, with the speed and nature of this brew, I found it was a line of play I wasn't necessarily aiming for, thus warranting the swap over to Gilded Lotus, a 5 generic artifact spell. It reads, tap to add 3 mana of any one color. And what's great about this card, obviously, is that we have 26 cards that can untap it, which means more mana for us in our turns to potentially combo out. Verity Circle was another card to get the axe, which was initially planned within the deck in hopes that we got an Urborg on board with our Korma spell. Now, that interaction itself is great because not only is it a board wipe deterrent, but it allows us to land wipe all opponents thanks to our Skeleton Ship's -1 counters. However, if we're already there, then the Verity Circle does nothing for us. In fact, I'd argue that this puts too much power into our opponent's hands as we're relying off them and not our own game plan. So I felt a healthy swap for this if we're looking for a card draw replacement was an Insight Engine. A 2 generic and 1 blue mana artifact spell that states, pay 2 generic and tap, put a charge counter on this artifact, then draw a card for each charge counter on it, making this a much friendlier budget 1-ring that can be abused with our various untapped synergies without the risk of a EDH ban. However, the 1-ring is not banned yet, so we've got both cards in the deck for some insane consistent draw. Speaking of consistency, Clever Conjurer. Is he in? Is he out? He always comes and goes. He's finally out. His effect, unfortunately, was just way too slow at sorcery speed, so we swapped it out with a North Pole Patrol, which allows us to untap another target permanent we control at instant speed for the same exact mana cost. It's really not a hard swap here. In fact, I don't even know why I'm talking about this. Our 4th exclusion of the day was Necroskitter, which was a great pirate-themed piece that had some sort of synergy with our commander, Skeleton Ship. However, once more, I found when we were able to finally utilize Skeleton Ship, the deck is already at critical mass, meaning we either have infinite untaps to wipe the board, or leverage our other untappers and permanents for that matter. Meaning Skeleton Ship is still a useful piece to the puzzle, but Necroskitter, on the other hand, not so much. So I decided to improve the card draw consistency once more with a Sensei's Divining Top, a 1 generic mana artifact spell reading, pay 1 at instant speed and look at the top 3 cards of your library, then put them back in any order, tap and draw a card, then put Sensei's Divining Top on top of its owner's library. And what's neat about this in the Skeleton Ship deck is through the various means of untapping. If we stack the triggers, we can draw our entire deck if we have infinite untaps. Or even without infinite untaps, we can dig much deeper than just the single card Sensei's Top is designed for, meaning we can find combo pieces, especially with the rearrange ability. The second to last card we pulled the plug on was a Root Water Hunter, which was just a pinger. We could tap it and deal 1 damage to target creature or player. And although this wasn't a bad ability, we just had a lot of redundancy within the brew. So what did I do? Well, I made the effect even more redundant with a Viridian Longbow. Let's face it, it's cheaper and it can attach to any one of our creatures, meaning we have more options. And if we are trying to build a Rube Goldberg machine, why wait around for 1 pinger when any one of our creatures can become that pinger, which ultimately leads us into our final swap of the brew, which is Zurin Spellcaster. Because let's face it, the previously mentioned Viridian Longbow makes many of these pingers obsolete. We still have 3 in the deck on top of the Longbow, but without it, the 5 was just too redundant, especially when they were more so the same card and no extra payoff to it. So I swapped this one out for a King Makar the Gold Cursed, a 2 generic and 2 black 2/3 legendary creature human reading, inspired. Whenever King Makar the Gold Curse becomes untapped, you may exile target creature. If you do, put a colorless artifact token named Gold onto the battlefield. It has, in quotations, sacrifice this artifact, add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool, which in my humble opinion is a fantastic flavor card and a powerhouse if paired with the proper kit, which not only grants us a gold, aka treasure, but exiles opponent's creatures while doing so, which means we probably have to figure out how to tap this thing. Well, luckily those cards were already included in the deck years ago, with the likes of card draw with Oracle's Insights, that newly mentioned Viridian Longbow for extra damage, or the best attached yet, Paradise Mantle. Once again, all of which allow King Makar the Gold Curse to tap himself, which we can then untap later with our untapped shenanigans for extra value, and just hit our opponents with the ultimate backshot. And that's what's nice about these deck maintenance videos, is whenever I dive deeper within the Magic the Gathering database, I'm able to find cards that aren't initially seen within play. And yes, some are more common than others, but it's really those hidden gems that shine like no other. So with that, do you agree with my changes? Let me know it down in the comments section below. And for those running their own version of Skeleton Ship, what are some of your changes? What are your favorite cards and why? If you're interested in these swaps and do ultimately decide on changes, I'd love to hear your feedback and how they work for you. But with that, that's going to do it for today's video. So if you want to stay tuned for future videos in the channel, make sure you like, subscribe, and hit the bell down in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. So that being said, my name is Patrick, host of EDH Brutality. I thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. And I'll see you in the next video. Peace out, guys. Videos. Always remember the videos. They're right here. Always. Go watch them. Might be better than this one. I don't know. Could be worse. Maybe it's both. See you next time, guys. Peace.